Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to all our viewers and attendees of the JobStreet Virtual Career Fair, right? Your springboard to a better future. My name is Shireen. I am your host for today in the JobStreet Virtual Career Fair webinar. Thank you for this opportunity for us to be able to talk and have a conversation with industry experts and specialists. And we hope that this opportunity will help many job seekers out there to understand the different aspects of the industry and secure that dream job of yours. Okay, so without further ado, allow me to introduce our wonderful and beautiful guests for today, Miss Rebecca Yap, the Executive Director, Head of Sales and Distribution for PFS UOB Bank. Welcome, Rebecca.
Thank you, Shireen, and everyone. Thank you for having me. It is really my honor and pleasure to be here to share with you my experience today.
Thank you. Thank you for taking us on this beautiful morning. And we would love to hear a little bit about yourself first before we start off to go into the most serious career questions. So
Sure,
tell
sure.
us a little bit about yourself and what do you do today?
Okay, I am a mother of two boys, right? And I've been in the banking industry for more than 20 years, right?
Wow.
In foreign bank, mainly into consumer business. And today I'm the head of sales and distribution for personal financial services of UOB Bank Malaysia. So what do I actually do is actually I take care of the wealth sales team, the mortgage, right, as well as the specialist, the advisory piece. And under the specialist team, we do have the investment as well as the banker assurance team under my care. On top of that, I also have teams that take care of the driving the CASA, which is the current and savings account, right, for the bank in terms of acquisition. Right, so we do have worksite marketing team. We also have client acquisition team as well.
Wow, wow, that's a long and a wonderful career. I can hear, more than 20 years in the bank and also more than 20 years in the financial industry, in particularly with sales. Have you always been in this area of expertise of sales and distribution?
I would think yes, most of the part of my career, yes. However, when I joined the bank, I think it's the kind of fate, right? While I was waiting for my STPM or the A-level results, I actually joined one of the foreign bank in my hometown as a
Okay,
teller.
okay.
So that is where is the first encounter to banking industry where we serve the customers and we will also put in different projects, right, to learn and expose. So after I acquired my tertiary education, it was during the 1998 economic crisis.
Okay,
So all
okay.
the financial industry was actually frozen their recruitment, and hence I joined manufacturing
Okay.
industry. Yeah. So after about 2 years, right, I find that meeting people and trying to engage people and meet people from all sorts of life is something that I wanted, and I feel I have a lot of passion with. And coincidentally, I met back my old branch manager. So I actually came all the way to KL from Johor, where my hometown is, and to start my career in banking proper. And that
Wow.
was 22 years ago. And I
How time
truly
flies.
enjoyed the journey. Yeah.
Yeah.
So when I joined the bank, I think the bank was still in the setting where you go to the normal old post office, right? There's these glasses in front of you,
Yeah.
and the interaction was not so close, right? So I went through the so-called revolution of the banking industry, where the e-banking was actually launched, right? The e-lobby and all that, and went through all. Also went through the operation department to learn the basic ops about banking. So when the bank evolved, when they started, we have sales team, right? Starting to get people to introduce customer. I think the very first product was then mortgage. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Then eventually into the wealth management. So young graduate like us were all being put into the sales team to learn about the product features, to help our customers to realize their financial dreams, helping people to own their home, right? And helping people to grow their money and make their money work harder for them. So through that journey, I actually find it very fulfilling when you help the customers, and thus you also expand your network. Your customer in the end become your friend.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, true. I think that's so interesting because I started my career in sales as well, and my first job I got it actually through JobStreet.
Oh,
So,
that's interesting.
yeah, so it was a very momentous year for me because I felt that the career in sales helped to establish a lot of core skills to grow your career in any areas, right?
Yes.
Now, I love that, you know, how you have been in the industry and in sales where you see all the evolution of the industry itself. Perhaps to give a little bit more light to entry points, job seekers or fresh graduates, and even with some experience, what does a typical day look like for a salesperson in a finance industry in a bank?
Okay. I think the entry level, as you mentioned, right?
Mm,
Maybe first of all, we need to share with people why they must be involved in sales, right?
mm,
As a first, uh, uh, to leap forward before they put.
yes.
Because in any industry, not just banking,
Mm,
knowing the customer's need is key,
mm,
right? So,
yeah.
but being in sales, you have the direct engagement with your end user or your
Mm,
customers. And from there, that is where you accumulate your experience in understanding their needs as well as their objections,
mm,
right? And that will take you further.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right, all right.
Yeah.
Yes, I think that's wonderfully said, right? Because at the end of the day, who are your customers? All customers, whether it's internal or external, will have their needs, and how do you overcome the challenges and fulfill their needs? And I love the fact that you talk about how you are not just selling a product, but you are selling a customer their dream home. You are
Yes.
selling a customer financial freedom. You are selling a customer to be able to realize their financial dreams.
Yeah.
Now, many a times I've talked to the younger generation, right? So they do have a slight aversion towards sales, and to them it's like, oh, sales, I'm just trying to sell credit cards, or I'm just trying to sell savings accounts, etc. But there's more to that, right? And how do you get them started into being interested with a career in sales?
Okay. First of all, I think it's the passion. They must have the
Mm,
passion. Of course,
mm,
nowadays, a lot of job seeker, we all know, it always boils down to the overall package and what is the potential earning.
yeah.
But I do believe, like what you mentioned, right? When a client can feel that you are helping them to realize their financial need rather than sell them a product,
Mm,
then it's a total different experience for yourself and for the customers.
yeah.
So for a salespeople, I think first thing first, they must treat their customer like their family. If
Mm,
today you get your family to get on this product, on this solution, would
mm,
it help them? Put yourself in their shoe. If you can convince them and you can convince yourself, I think that is a yes as well from the customers. So do not ever think that you are selling a product, but thinking that you are helping your client to fulfill their dreams.
mm.
That is important.
Okay,
Yeah.
nice, nice. Um, and from the starting point of your career, right up to where you are today, perhaps it would be wonderful to understand a little bit better what were the challenges that you faced in a career in sales, and how did you overcome them?
Okay, I shared that I actually joined during when the bank evolved. I
Mm.
was actually made the customer service ambassador, where
Wow.
I don't even have my desk. I have to stand for the whole day and trying to educate our customers on using our e-lobby, the ATM, and so on, right? At that moment, a lot of people were saying, Reb, you are a graduate, why are you standing here whole day? But to me, it's a service that I render to the customer. So at that moment, you may be in doubt. It's just like today when you mentioned, right? Somebody was saying that, oh, I'm just selling a current account, selling a product. You may have in doubt when people question, but you must know that is the journey that you must go through, because even you're selling a casa or a credit card, right? It is also a need for the customers that will help to provide convenience to the customers.
Mm.
By having learning the basic, that is where you advance to the investment advisory, and hopefully eventually you can be a private banker and so on.
Mm.
Yeah, so that is the starting
Okay,
basic.
the passion behind it,
Yes,
right?
yes.
And if there is maybe one or two other advice that you would give, because in sales it can be very challenging to overcome many customers' objections, and you get a lot of rejections. So how did you overcome those sort of challenges?
I think very important, all of us must set a goal,
Mm,
right? What is the purpose of you when you start a journey in your career? What
mm,
is your end goal? Once you have set your goal and that is where you want to be, you will
mm,
persevere and overcome the challenges that you face. I think that is very important. Set your goal very clear. I think we always believe, right? Clarity is important,
mm,
capability,
mm,
as well as the motivation for one individual to move forward and to succeed in the end,
mm,
no matter what they do.
right.
So to be clear is you want to know what is your goal, and then you ask, are you capable? And what capability do you need to have in order to achieve those goals? And at the end, what is the motivation once you achieve the goal? Yeah.
Mm. Wow, wow. Those are really golden nuggets there to take away: clarity, capability, as well as motivation.
Yeah.
And perhaps, in the challenges of the industry currently, in the financial industry, um, how do you see this become key success factors to individuals in terms of clarity, capability, and motivation to help these individuals grow their career in either the financial industry or in particularly in sales?
All right. I think if I may just share about how UOB, we have a very good platform,
Mm,
a career progression platform to groom our salespeople.
mm,
So when you are a fresh graduate, when you join, you can join as our personal wealth executive, where you go through all the basic banking training, as well as learn the soft skill, okay, about sales. And within 18 months, when you do well, you can progress to be a wealth banking relationship managers, where you manage a tech customers, right? Meaning a portfolio management. And the customer would have the asset under management with us from 150 up to 599,000. And the next level that you can move on is actually to be our private banking, privileged banking, relating client advisor.
mm. Okay.
Okay, when you have acquired enough customers and you will serve customers for with AUM more than 500,000 and above.
Wow. All right.
So among this, if you think you want to branch out to a specialist role, we also have a portfolio counselor. We have also groomed them internally. We also have banker advisor, where they focus supporting the sales into helping customers to plan their legacy, taking care of their protection. And last but not least, we also have our treasury sales specialist. If your passion is very much into FX, into treasury business, into bonds, treasury sales officer is also another sales role that you can branch out to. Now, on top of all that, if you think you want to take a leadership role to manage a team, to be a team leader, that is also possible. In UOB, we believe in grooming our internal talent.
Wow, wow. There's so many career options within the financial industry, right? I
Yes,
think
yes,
I think the public out there, or even, general job seekers, all they see is probably a career in either sales, like general sales, or you become a branch manager, or you work in HQ, right? So there are so many options there. It's so exciting.
yes.
How do you help, or how does UOB help job seekers or career builders within the organization to understand which pillar or which types of jobs that is suitable for them to grow their career in?
So just now, if you heard, we have got the wealth management business. Sorry, we have the mortgage business.
Yeah.
We have the advisory. We have the treasury business, as well as the banker assurance business. Now, very much the banks actually conduct semi-annually, career conversation.
Okay.
Sorry, to understand their career aspiration. So no worries, you will be heard. You are able to share your inspiration with us, or even to join as part of the leadership role. And the bank will do our part to facilitate your career path with us.
Nice, wonderful, wonderful. And you know, it's great that you actually have twice a year to talk to employees about their career aspirations, you know, and those are wonderful opportunities for people to talk about what's next for them, etc.
Yes.
Now, coming back to you personally, right? What are some of the advice that you would give individuals when they have these career conversations with you?
Okay, more often than not, it is natural, right? People will ask, what is it for me next? When would I get my promotion and all?
Yes.
I think as far as when you are a sales concern in UOB, it's like an open book exam, yeah? So if the target, the requirement, the criteria is set, if you are managed to hit it, you will be promoted. Okay, that's very clear. If come to the management role, I think I would advise to ask ourselves, right? Before we ask what the organization is giving me, I should ask myself, what have I contributed to the organization? Yeah?
Yeah.
So any good organization will not neglect any performance as well as contribution for a staff that they want to retain, and particularly in this world, right? In this financial world, where the talent is so scarce that everybody is trying to get the best talent, and it is only right for our organization to actually retain the best talent that we want.
Yeah, true. It is a talent war out there, right?
Yes,
and
yes.
With the growing aspects of the financial industry, because now you have like e-cash, you have, you know, e-commerce cashing, so cash, it's a bit like Soka and all that. So there are so many other ancillary financial industry kind of opportunities and pillars as well. So my next question would be a little bit about the negative perceptions of the industry, because I think in any industry there's always the good side and there's always the not so good side, right? So people who have been in some may find that, you know, the working hours are not good enough, it's high pressure, and you know, they are, you know, it could also be sometimes people say whether political or I'm not good enough. What are your thoughts about it, and how would you advise those who are interested to grow their career in banking or finance?
Okay, I think the negative perception, as much as I can see from all the job family, right, is the one that is promoting the banker assurance, or people normally known as insurance, right? I still remember the back then when I started to promote insurance product, my mother was very angry with me. Except that you went all the way for your tertiary education. If you want to be an insurance agent, you don't need to go through that. So I think then that was time 20 years ago. But I think as we move by the awareness, and particularly now in the pandemic situation, people are more aware. Right? But having said that, insurance is still not something that people will walk in and come to the bank and say, I want to buy an insurance. So many youngsters will think that, why would I want to sell insurance? And I don't like about it, right? But it's true, a lot of real experience that we help our customers when mishap happened, when the check was presented to the client family. I think that is the best testimonial to the salespeople that you are doing the right thing to help our customers.
Correct.
Yeah. So that part, they have to understand. And in our own personal financial planning, before you talk about investment and all, first thing first, we must make sure we are adequately protected. You're adequately protected, then only you talk about how do you invest, how do you save, right? That is the concept that we must educate our customers. So being a financial advisor is very much like a financial physician. That you're helping the customers, right? To handle their issues, to manage and to help them to achieve their financial freedom eventually, right? So that is one. Yeah. Sorry, I missed that earlier question was.
Yeah, it's about the negative perception. Maybe I will reframe that question a little bit. Coming back to the sales role, right? So there are also some negative perceptions about sales roles, right? So there's either long hours, like you said, you were a customer advisor, and then you were standing, there for the whole day, and also the other negative perception about the roles in sales, whereby you have high targets. Customers will call you 24 hours any time of the day, a lot of documentation, and you must be also very heavily responsible because of all the P&C documents that you carry along with you, and you are handling people's data, right? So how would you advise a salesperson or those interested in a sales career to be better prepared for this?
Okay, I think regardless whether in sales or you're in sales or not in sales, the pressure is always there. But I believe if every day I were to come to the office from 8:45 until 4:45, the time that I've attributed, of course, the actual hour could be longer. But it is what is the return I'll get. But being in sales, you determine what is your earning.
Okay.
Right? You are able, of course, on top of the basic, you are able to earn variable income. Not just that, right? Being in sales, there is a lot of also benefit, right? There is a lot of incentive trips given by the partners, right? I have to share that I have people, my staff in their 20s, traveling the whole world to many countries. Once they hit the incentive. I think a target is just a number. Once you got your mindset right, once you set your goal and you know what you're doing is good for your client, the target is just for a number for you to meet. But most importantly is to share as many what do you call your good product solution to your customers, as many as possible, and then convince them and you move on.
Nice.
So with regards to documentation, I think now bank a lot is already moving into digital. So that will help in the ease of documentation. The technology has come in time to assist all this.
Nice. Yeah, when I started out in sales, people talk about, one of my mentors actually shared with me, the target is just a number, right?
Yes.
And sales is all about a numbers game, right? You knock on 100 doors, 10 doors will open. You knock on 220 doors will open.
Yes,
so the more doors you knock on, the more opportunities will open for you.
Exactly. You're right, Shireen.
So when we talk about that, what would be some top 3 qualities that you would look for in a salesperson?
Okay, first thing first, I think that person must not be shy, must like to interact with people.
Okay.
And the passion, as I said, to serve the client, right, to help people, I think that is very important. Secondly, very important is integrity. I think you mentioned about us handling client data, handling clients' hard-earned money. So integrity is absolutely critical. And last is the value system, right? About in a person, about doing things right.
Okay.
And have be courageous lah. And do not give up easily, persevere. Yeah.
Okay, perseverance. Very nice, very
Yes.
nice. Yeah, talking about perseverance, right? And I've known a lot of sales people as well, sales folks. A lot of my friends are into sales.
Mm.
Sometimes perseverance can be very challenging, and it is not a quality that a salesperson develop overnight, right? So you need to have good mentors and good role models within the team and the organization as well. Now, my question would be, what would you advise somebody who is not coming from sales, right? Who doesn't have a background in sales and say is in their early 30s and wanting to start a career in sales? How would you advise them to convince their new employer to give them that opportunity?
Well, I must say that in UOB, we do give people an opportunity when we do
Mm,
our hiring. I
okay.
think the personality of that person is important.
Mm,
Of course, if this person has got a previous experience in dealing engagement with client, whether it's in the
mm,
service line or whether is selling a tangible product and so on, I think we are perfectly okay. Because
okay.
we have also seen people who join us from the hospitality industry did very well,
Mm,
right? Because of
mm,
their flair in handling customers. Because
yeah.
product knowledge is something just that you can pick up. And
Yes.
we will provide you the training.
Mm,
And you will be supported by our specialists as well. So
mm,
not to worry.
mm,
Of course, the most important thing is your will to succeed. Yeah? Yeah.
yeah. Okay. Okay.
Mm.
Nice. And how do you grow your career in sales? Right. So, is there like you grow from an exec to a manager, a team leader, or you can branch off? How does the career path look like?
Okay. In the bank, right? I mean, within that, there is
Mm,
this corporate ranking. As I mentioned just now, we have a
mm,
structured career progression
mm.
plan, which is like an open book exam.
Okay.
For example, if you are a personal wealth executive, which is
Mm.
the
Exact
very, very
level.
first,
Mm.
executive level. Once you hit the target set, you can be promoted to a manager level.
Okay.
So you will be then designated as personal wealth manager.
Okay.
Yes.
Ah, all right, all
Then you
right.
can also continue to progress into even at corporate ranking, assistant vice president level.
Okay,
But your
okay.
destination is still personal wealth executive, I mean seniors into the same job family. Of course, you can choose to advance to wealth banking as a relationship managers to manage the tech
Mm,
customers, the
okay,
portfolio customers.
okay. All right,
Yeah.
all right. There's a lot of flexibility
Yes,
and opportunities depending on what you want, right, as a salesperson and as a career progression, as your career progression.
yes.
Nice. Okay, so I think a very, very famous question nowadays is about the pandemic, right? And since last year, what are some shifts that you have noticed within the industry and also within the sales function itself?
Okay. I think during the lockdown, we all know we can't have engagement with the customers. So what we did
Mm,
is really develop a lot of remote engagement channels.
mm, mm,
So during the very, very early phase, we had our
mm,
phone sales, which the
mm,
team really worked around the clock, and the non-face-to-face engagement,
mm,
acceptance of the mortgage loan, right? Or through our phone logger to engage our
mm,
customers.
mm,
Then we also have the webinars to engage our customers. I think that is what is the norm that has been done by a lot of provider, right? Whether you are in banking or in another industry. Then this year, we have actually evolved to the virtual engagement, meaning I will log on to the Microsoft Teams and we will have a presentation with the customers and so on. And we also evolved to paperless transactions when a customer wants to do investment with us. On top of that, we also have a apps that we work with our partner, right? That the customers can actually buy an insurance product or sign up their medical card without coming to the bank, just through the apps and seamlessly. Everything is done virtually.
Wow, wow. That's a whole retraining for the sales team as well, right? It
Yes,
totally changes the way they work.
correct.
Yeah.
We have also engaged a specialized trainer to train
Mm,
our people to scale up their capability in terms of virtual presentation, in
mm.
terms of their tele sales capability to be able to engage the customer effectively over the phone.
Yeah, yeah, very nice, very nice. And I think that's where, organizations that are very heavily invested in Salesforce really helps the sales teams to come up to speed with technology and to come up to speed with times, right? And perhaps one insight that we would really love to hear from you is what's the future of sales looking like, as in the sales career?
Okay, I think it will be very much on advisory.
Okay, all
Yeah,
right, all right.
because we also have started our digital platform, right? We have our Mighty apps, right?
Mm,
Client can actually do the investment using just our Mighty apps. Client, we also have launched our eKYC, which is electronic type, right? And customer can open account with us whenever they are.
okay.
So what makes the customer who wants to come to meet us is really, really advisory. Now, as the nation become wealthier, more and more people become the affluent segment, right? The need to invest with particularly in the current low interest rate environment,
Mm,
it really makes sense for the customers to invest their money, all right, with the risk they are able to take, right? Um, to make their money work harder for them.
yeah.
So those who want to send kids for overseas education, those who want to own a house, right? Those who want to retire early will know what to do and what to plan early with the bank.
Mm, mm.
Yeah,
Oh,
and
very nice.
yeah, on top of the digital part that will provide the convenience to the customers. So it all will come in tandem.
Yeah, yeah. I think there is also this perception, right, that as as financial industry go digital, and the banks go online with all this special technology, does the salesperson still be relevant for the industry, right?
A very
So,
good question,
do I still
Sharif.
have a job?
Very good question. I think from the study that we had, right, through our consultant, I think the high net worth customers, they
Mm,
still prefer to deal with somebody.
mm, yeah, yeah.
So the personal touch is something's going to make a difference,
Mm,
right? That is why I said that in wealth management, the advisory piece, the personal touch piece is still going to be very important and crucial.
mm,
And that explains why all the banks are hiring relationship manager. Is so tough to
mm.
find one. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You're not just trying to sell a product, right? You're trying to sell a lifestyle. You're trying to build a relationship. You're trying to provide a dream to a customer, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so they should be called dream makers.
Yes, yes, yes.
Just a side note there. All right. So, and you brought a very interesting point how you ended up in the financial industry in sales during the economic crisis. And with the current economic situation, how can a salesperson pursue their own development in this field? What are some things that they can do to give them the cutting edge to always be relevant to the company?
You mean are you referring to sales role or other role?
Probably more directly to sales.
Okay, I think they need to be agile.
Mm,
They really need to be very, very adaptive, meaning
mm,
all the tools the bank has developed, right? They need to try and use it. And
okay.
first, also to educate their customers.
Mm,
Because from our experience, we saw that some customers are not very comfortable with the digital platform or the virtual platform.
yeah. Mm,
But it all starts from the person, right?
yeah.
From all of us. So we wanted first thing our salespeople to be adaptive, to be open to all these remote channels and to practice so that even after the pandemic, this will continue and that will help on the productivity.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so now what the sales need to acquire is, it would be good they find out some of the digital platform, how to use it,
Mm.
how they can benefit themselves as well as the customers.
Mm.
And of course, for management is more on to anticipate disruption that is
Yeah.
coming to the industry.
To the
Yes,
industry. All right, all right.
yes,
Nice, nice. Thank you for those insights because, at the end of the day, I love the fact that, the role of sales itself needs to be agile and adaptable,
yes,
but the person behind the role also needs to be agile and adaptable, right?
yes.
It's not just about the role, but also the person behind the role. Now, having a long span in this industry, and I'm sure, you've come across many different situations. What would be your top three advice for anyone trying to succeed in sales in the financial industry?
Okay, I think first thing first, we often hear about people say that work smart,
Mm,
right?
mm,
But as you mentioned, sales is about a number game,
mm,
right? So the betting averages, the at bats, the trying knocking the door is still very important. And that boils down to you. You must be very hardworking.
mm,
Okay, if you want to succeed in sales, right?
mm,
Um, learn from others, right? We in UOB we always believe in cross pollination.
ah,
So whenever there is somebody who has done very well, we will always bring them and try to find out what has this person done well, did differently from the rest that he can achieve such a good results, and we will then share it across with the network.
mm,
So even though I've seen top salespeople, even though they are already doing very well, but they keep learning, continuous learning to find out how other people has done it.
mm,
And maybe there is a new way of handling objections. Maybe this is the new product. They need to have a new way to pitch to customers. Of course, these are all trained,
yeah.
but the delivery as well as the execution lies on each and individual of the
Mm,
salesperson. And that creates a difference. I think integrity, again, very important because as a salesperson, more so in financial industry, when you are good, when you do the right thing, your customer will refer customers to you.
mm.
And that is where you can expand your client base and your network. Yeah,
Okay. All right.
yeah,
Okay, nice.
yeah.
Um, Last but not least, right, I would just like to leave an open comment. Would you have any last few words of advice or motivation for anyone who is pursuing this career?
Um, once you accept your goal, just go for it. And I have to say that some of you may be skeptical about sales role,
Mm,
but let me share with you, sales is about leadership. All of us do sales, it just in a different manner.
yeah.
A CEO of a company has to do sales to convince and get the buy-in from the team and set the direction, to get the whole employees to follow his direction and set and achieve the goal set, right? Sales again is about leadership. I think a 3-year-old boy trying to pester the mommy to buy a toy for him is also a sales, right? For us to go after courtship, right? Trying to get a boyfriend or girlfriend, you are also selling yourself. So don't be feeling bad that why am I doing sales? Because we are doing it every day. So sales is leadership and sales starts with you. And all the best to all of you who want to venture in sales. And trust me, you will not regret in this journey.
Nice. Thank you so much, Rebecca. Those are some really, really good golden nuggets that we can take away, especially for those who are interested in a career in sales. It has been a real honor to hear your sharing, gain insights of the industry, and seeing all the many different pillars that exist within the industry and the many opportunities that we can have, in particularly in sales. I encourage you viewers, if you want to know more about a career in sales, in particular to the financial industry, get connected with Ms. Rebecca Yap from UOB Bank, and even log into the JobStreet virtual career fair to know more. All right, check it out, and we will be open to you from the 14th to the 16th of October, and there will be many, many participating companies during this virtual career fair. So thank you once again, Rebecca.
Thank you, Sherry, for having me. Thank you, JobStreet. Thank you.
Stay safe, and we'll see you soon.
See you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye bye.
Thank you.